What is going on, peasants? My name is JB, and I am your coach of the Las Vegas Cinderaces, back here with my draft analysis for BBR Season 2, or the Breedjecks Battle Royale. Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes of the squad, I gotta give a couple shoutouts, and I got a couple things that I gotta request for you guys. So first and foremost, this is a 12-week season. Let me know what you think my my record is gonna be, and once you see all the Pokemon on my team, once you see what we drafted, let me know what you think my kill leader is gonna be. I want to know those two things in the comments. Let me know down below. Now, another shout out. First shout out I gotta give is to my man at Beast Graphic on Twitter. Holy crap, look at this freaking logo. It is incredible. My man did an amazing job. I'll leave his link in the description down below. Definitely be sure to go check him out if you need logos made, if you need layouts made, if you need thumbnails, you need anything, definitely be sure to go check him out. He gets a lot of input from you. There's a lot of back and forth. He's a great GFX artist and a really nice guy. Definitely recommend commissioning him if you need some stuff made. And also, big shout out to my boy Mid Pokemaster, the commissioner of the BBR, for inviting me back this season, excuse me. And also shout out to all the coaches. Go check out everyone's draft analysis in the description down below. I'm sure everyone's links will be down there. Go check that out. And yeah, dude, show everyone some love. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into the rules of this here draft in the BBR. So this was a points-based draft. You had 1,200 points to spend on 10 Pokemon. Cannot draft 9, cannot draft 8. You got to draft 10. And the tiers ranged from 200 points all the way down to, I believe, 40 or I want to say 40 points, except for 180. I think it had something to do with the website. 180 wasn't a tier. So yeah, basically you got 1,200 points, and you can do whatever the hell you want with them. So let's go ahead and talk about my draft position real quick. So this is a 16 man draft, and usually, especially in 16-man drafts, you want to be either top 3 or bottom 3. You don't want to be anywhere in the middle 5. Your boy was pick 11, so like that's one of the worst picks possible. You're just stuck in the middle. You don't have a top 5 pick on either wheel. It's just disgusting. It's awful. But thankfully, if you go check out some of the other draft analysis for the BBR, you'll notice that a couple of wacky things happened round 1. So we were able to get some pretty nice stuff to fall to us, thankfully. And once it got to my pick, there were 2 Pokemon specifically that I was very heavily considering with my pick here, and I was, went real back and forth on both of them, but in the end I decided to go with my man's Zeraora to be my number 1 pick here in the BBR. Also, hey, I'm a webcam, my hair looks freaking beautiful, that's why you're subscribed, let's be real. But yeah, Zeraora, fantastic speed tier. There are only 2 Pokemon allowed that are faster than it, those being Ninjask and Asogor. Asogor is a good Pokemon. Ninjask is completely irrelevant, but yeah, Zeraora is phenomenal. Great attack stat, great special attack stat, decent enough bulk, especially when, like I said, is one of the fastest ones allowed. Oftentimes you're able to invest in bulk to live any one hit, or you could just run some very effective mix sets. So Zeraora, definitely a great Pokemon to build around. Now, like I mentioned, there were 2 Pokemon that I was considering building or picking with my round 1 pick, and it managed to get back to within a couple picks of me, and I'm like, wait a second, that thing's still on the board. I might actually be able to grab both of these things, and wouldn't you know it, I got back to my pick, and the other Pokemon I was considering round 1 was still there in round 2. So I went ahead and grabbed Kyurem. Getting Kyurem round 2 is an absolute steal. I don't really think I need to explain why, but Kyurem is an absolute monster, having just astronomical attack stats in both special attack and physical attack, with both being 130, solid speed tier, base 95, and just a wild move pool. It gets Freeze Dry now to deal with bulky waters. It does get access to Dragon Dance and Icicle Spray for physical ice stab, which give it something to work with. And like I said, coming off that base 130 attack stat at +1 potentially with a Dragon Dance, like Icicle Spray is not going to feel good, especially if you get more than 3 hits. Like that's doing a hell of a lot of damage to pretty much anything in the game. So Kyurem, definitely an amazing wall breaker, great bulk, great all-around Pokemon. Getting it around 2 is an absolute steal. Now next up, I wanted to go ahead and just get a nice another wall breaker in here. I had a couple modes for this team. One of them involved more like a dual screens heavy on setup kind of draft, because I wanted to use Grimmsnarl. Like I really wanted to grab Grimmsnarl because I want to use it in a league that doesn't die, RIPCL. But unfortunately, the other Pokemon that I wanted to use to take advantage of screens got sniped, so I went ahead and went just pure raw wall breaking power. And with my 3rd pick, I went ahead and grabbed Primarina. Now, Primarina is a Pokemon I've used in the past. several times in Gen 7, and I've been trying to grab it all of Gen 8, and I've just never been able to get my hands on it. But Primarina is, like I said, just an absolute wall-breaking machine, having just fantastic dual stabs and Water Fairy, and very, very solid coverage as well with stuff like Grass, Psychic, Ghost, Ice, of course. Yeah, just all around fantastic wall breaker. Decently bulky as well. I believe Calm Mind Access is new. I know it gets Calm Mind now, but I believe that's new in Gen 8. If I'm wrong, my bad. But yeah, you can run Calm Mind. You can do some stuff. It's a great Pokemon. Having Flip Turn is amazing on a Pokemon like this, especially when it appreciates Assault Vest and forces so many switches. You can just Flip Turn out, get momentum. Dude, Flip Turn is so good on a Pokemon like Prim. Now, if you've been watching my channel for a little while here in Gen 8, you know, in the last couple leagues I've been playing in, one specifically, the NCP, I kind of had a problem where I didn't have a Dark type, and it kind of fisted me a lot, and it was really bad, and I'm not dealing with that ever again. So I went ahead and grabbed a Dark type pretty darn early. And also another new returning Pokemon here in the Isle of Armor, grabbed ourselves Crocodile. Now, Crocodile is an amazing Pokemon, fantastic move pool, fantastic abilities, 3 great abilities even, when you take into account Urshifu existing, with a guaranteed critical hit move for Anger Point. So yeah, just an amazing Pokemon. Great Stealth Rocker, good knockoff user, fantastic Choice Scarf, Moxie Sweeper potentially, and just with another fantastic move pool. It has access to Bulk Up now, so I kind of want to make Bulk Up Power Trip size work because that could be so fun, dude. Crocodile is just a great Pokemon, fantastic all around, and definitely something I'm very much looking forward to using. Now, one of the things that you need to keep in your mind when you draft Zeraora is you need to be able to fill in those speed tiers between Zeraora and like the rest of the decks, because if Zeraora is your fastest Pokemon and your next fastest Pokemon is Kyurem, like mine is at this point, people are just gonna run max bulk against you, and you're gonna have a terrible time. So I needed to make sure that I have the speed tiers to force my opponents to run those plus speed natures. So I wasn't really thrilled about having to pick this Pokemon when I first decided to make this pick, but the more I looked into it, and like once it actually came time for my turn, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm all in on this Pokemon. And my next pick is Talonflame. So Talonflame gives me that amazing speed tier, like I said, 126, you know, filling in the gap between Zeraora and the rest of the decks, and a solid typing as well. And Zeraora being able to cover its electric weakness with Volt Absorb is very nice, as well as, you know, the same thing with Primarina for Zeraora if you know you want to go there, but we're not really going to talk about that. But having access to heavy duty boots now for Talonflame makes it just that much more of a threat. You can run obviously your SD or your bulk up sets, but I think where Talonflame is really going to shine, especially on a team like this, is in its support set. It has some great support moves with stuff like Taunt, Willow, Toxic, stuff like that. And with boots, having being able to come in on hazards and take no damage and then get off priority defogs, that's amazing, dude. Can pivot out and U-turn. I think Talonflame is going to be really fun to use, and I'm going to hopefully do a lot of creative stuff with Talonflame this season, and just, you know, hey man, I'm actually kind of excited to use it. Now we got a little bit of a backstory with this next pick. So this was an even round pick. That means it was going back up the order from 16 all the way up to where I was at 11, and every single pick from 16 up to 12 had been a poison type, and I had been planning on taking this Pokemon, and I couldn't break the streak, dude. Like I just couldn't. Like I couldn't be the guy to not pick a poison type and ruin it for everybody. So I took Garbodor, or as it shall henceforth be known, Garbodorian. But yeah, Garbodorian, you kind of know why you take a Pokemon like this. It's for hazards. It gets access to both Spikes and T-Spikes, just making it a great Pokemon. It is a grounded poison, meaning that my opponent's T-Spikes aren't an issue for my team. If I choose to bring Garbodor to the game, it can just absorb those and make them, you know, non-existent. Just get rid of them. Who needs them? Because that is one thing about this team, is that my removal isn't fantastic. As you can see right now, I only have Talonflame. We kind of patched it up a little bit, not really, but Garbodor sort of helps in that it dissuades T-Spikes, and that's really all it's here for, is hazards. It gets a decent enough move pool with stuff like Drain Punch, Seed Bomb, and, you know, Poison Stab being generally decent for hitting fairies, of course. And it's all right. It'll come to a few games, and it'll probably mostly just be Spikes, but I don't think I'm giving away too much by saying that. There's not a lot of creative stuff you can do with a Pokemon like Garbodor, but we're gonna have some fun with it, and I love it, man. It's like, I don't want to say it's cute, but it's pretty damn cute. So next up, I wanted to get something else to further fill in that speed gap from Talonflame to around the base 115 to base 100 mark. So I went ahead and grabbed Espeon. Espeon is a Pokemon I used briefly in IBL before I dropped it. Actually I traded away for Obsidian because I didn't have a dark type. Who would have thunk? JB in a team without a dark type, shocker. But yeah, it came to a couple games and it put in work in the games it did come to in IBL. So it's a Pokemon I'm somewhat comfortable with, and having access to Magic Bounce gives us another pseudo form of hazard control. Not the best, but it does definitely dissuade hazards. It's just something your opponent has to keep in the back of their mind unless they have like a more bigger hazard center, which Excadrill is the only one I can think of off the top of my head. I'm sure there are others, but yeah, Espeon's very good. Solid speed tier, not a great move pool. Kind of just psychic, fairy, ghost coverage. It lost signal beam and hidden power, which is big. If this thing got mystical fire though, or even focus blast, it'd be amazing. Fortunately, it doesn't have either of those things, but it's still decent enough. Good choice scarf user, good trick user, good fast dual screen setter if need be. It's all right. It's a speed tier. It's a definitely very solid Pokemon. Like if my opponent doesn't have a dark type, just slap a Specs on, and like this thing is freaking killing stuff, bro. Like it does a lot of damage. It's a really hard hitting Pokemon. It's solid, gonna do its job. Next up, I think I'm just gonna let my man Shayquaza take over this next pick. So here we go.
He supports the whole team with knockoffs and spins, but if he gets +2, well, he kind of just wins.
So yeah, we took Hitmonlee, and Shay pretty much explained it there. He supports the whole team, knockoff, spin, but if you get it set up, it's always a win con, dude. And something my man failed to mention in that in those just magnificent raps. That was the widest thing I've ever fucking said, and I'm leaving it in because screw it. But reckless high jump kick, dude. You can never just discount slapping a choice band on Hitmonlee and clicking high jump kick and killing something. So yeah, pretty solid. So I had 140 points left for 2 picks, and I kind of was, you know, running low on decent Pokemon left. I wanted a grass type for sure, and I wanted a ghost type, so I couldn't afford Delmise and another Pokemon. I could have afforded just Delmise if you only needed 9 Pokemon, but unfortunately gotta draft 10. So with the next to last pick of this team, we went ahead and grabbed Gorgeist. Now Gorgeist is actually a really good Pokemon, and it's one of the best low tier Pokemon even before Isle of Armor, and now even after Isle of Armor, getting access to Poltergeist, I think it's even better. Gorgeist is a fantastic Pokemon. It has the best ability in Pokemon, Frisk. Don't at me. Frisk is amazing. You cannot change my mind. It's the best ability in the game, especially in Draft League. Do I need to say anything else? But yeah, dude, having Poltergeist is really nice for this thing. It has a really solid attack set in all of its forms. I do have all the forms for those of you wondering. Super large, regular, and small, I think are the forms. I could be wrong, but whatever. I have all the forms of Gorgeist for those of you curious, and it has a really solid offensive move pool now with Poltergeist. It doesn't have to rely on just Shadow Sneak or Shadow Claw, and it can also just run really annoying like sub-Leech Seed Toxic sets. Like Gorgeist is really freaking good, man. It's a super slept on Pokemon. I would not be surprised if people start moving it up tiers. I kind of hope they don't, but listen, man, no one ever changes tiers. Like, no one ever re-tiers stuff if a Pokemon's broken in a low tier. I've never seen it. People should, though. But, yeah, dude. Gorgeist is really freaking good, and I'm very excited to use it. Now, with our last pick, there was really nothing good in the 60-point or below tier. There was legitimately only one Steel type, and as you can tell, I don't have a Steel type on this team. So I took the legitimately only Steel type available. I'm lying. There was one other one. And I'm not counting in FEs either, so fuck that. There was a Ferroseed. Ferroseed's not a Pokemon, not counting it. So I took the actual only Steel type available, which is somehow not all that much better than a Ferroseed, but I think it is better. So we took Mawile. Mawile's not great. It has terrible stats. Its highest being in attack and defense at both 85, and everything else is like around 60. I want to say. I don't have it pulled up because I'm stupid, but it's not that great. It has some decent resistances, so hopefully it can come to a couple games. If it does come to a couple games and does its job, then I'll consider this a good pick. But it's not a great Pokemon. It gives me another Stealth Rocker, which I only have 2 of on the team, in Crocodile. I'm not the biggest fan of hazards. I think spikes are so much better in Gen 8 than they were in Gen 7. I think spikes are far more valuable. So, I mean, rocks are good, but I'm not going to stress only having 2 rockers, so I'm kind of okay with it. Mawile does have a really good move pool and good abilities in Sheer Force and Intimidate, so it can do some stuff. It can do some things. Gets a really fun move pool. but it's just has its stats really let it down. But you know, like I said, if it comes to a couple games, does its job, then it's a win in my book. So that is my team for BBR season 2. Like I said in the beginning, this is a 12-week season. Let me know what you think my record's gonna be, and let me know what you think my kill leader is gonna be. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say Primarina, because I know for a fact that Primarina is going to come to, if not every game, damn near every game. So definitely think that's gonna be up there in terms of kills. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all for week 1, where we take on the homie Leo, aka 6 Foot Hacks. So that's going to be a fantastic matchup for sure, and I'll see you all then. Peace out.